Thank you for tuning in to Become Her TV. We have a special guest today. Thank you for reminding me to smile. And I'm so excited to introduce her. She is doing some amazing things and she's going to tell us about herself. So let's start. You are?
Tiffany. How are you all doing?
Awesome, awesome. We have Tleya in the back. Thank you. She's always supporting us from behind the scenes. But okay.
Well, I'm Tiffany. I'm the owner of Thomas Dean Hair Company.
A beautiful establishment, by the way. Very beautiful.
Which is located on 3832 West Lisbon. I'm right on the corner of 39th and Lisbon. Yeah, this is what I do. I do hair, anything extensions. That's me. Come and see me, Tiffany.
But you also have some other gifts that you're not sharing.
Yes, I do. I also sing, of course.
Not just sing, but you sing.
Yeah, I also sing, and that's Tiffany B or Tiffany Bufford. You can find my music anywhere on Facebook or iTunes.
Okay, so how long have you been in this industry?
I actually been doing hair for the last 10 years, but just started in this industry about, I'm gonna say, starting my own thing about 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yep.
And how has that journey been?
It's been an awesome journey. The dream of Thomas Dean came about last year around July.
Okay.
My mom was actually diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And one of the things that I wanted to do to just make sure that we basically keep her name going when she leaves this earth. So Thomas Dean is my mom and my dad's middle name.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure that her legacy lived on, and it's through Thomas Dean Hair Company. So, yeah.
So what other services do you produce out of Thomas Dean?
We provide hair, extensions, crowns, which a lot of people call them wigs. So we hand make wigs or we sew them. So anything that has to do with extensions, pretty much we do. We also specialize in natural hair, and then just making sure that we focus on the healthy hair aspect of when we're putting extensions in or when we're taking them out. So just specializing in making sure that your hair underneath is being taken care of as well.
Okay, so one of the main things that we focus on with Becoming Her is share your story to help her story.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we know that everyone has this journey that kind of brings them to the point of pushing them into purpose or passion, or as we would say, Thomas Dean. So if you could just share a little bit about your story, like how you got to this point. I heard a little bit about the mom and the reason behind the name, but what made you realize that entrepreneurship was for you and that just hair period? Because a lot of people go through things and a lot of people, you know, not to discount what's going on, but a lot of people have the fear of, what if I fail? What if this doesn't make it?
Yeah.
But you went through despite the circumstances. So if you could just share a little bit about your story to help her story, our story.
Most definitely. Well, I have always knew that I was an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Probably around 11 years old, it started out, you know, like with babysitting jobs in the neighborhood and all that type of all of that type of stuff. But when you're a kid, you're fearless. Yeah. So you feel like you can do anything. So like around maybe 18, 19, of course I think I had like maybe 3 jobs because I wanted to make sure I had a check every week, not every other week. So I think I worked at Rocky Coco's, Lady Foot Locker, and Times Square, where I was putting batteries and watches. And I was just,
you don't have time to do anything else.
Hey, I was getting that money.
Get your point.
Yes. But it was always something in me that I didn't want to work for anyone else.
Right.
I just didn't. I didn't want no one telling me what I could and could not do. Not just because I didn't want that. It was just like, hey, I have stuff in me that I wanted to do. So got married, and those dreams went away because you focused on being married, focused on having a family, focused on doing that, and all of a sudden you wake up and you be like, you know what? I haven't did what I really wanted to do. So like maybe around 30, I always keep a journal. And I had in this journal that I was gonna own my own salon one day. And that I was going to do a couple of other things, like I did 2 live recordings and just some other things that I wanted to do. And those were like things that was on my list that stood out. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do a salon. Everybody does a salon. Everybody, and I was like, well, I don't want it to be this way and I want it to be that way. And that passed. And so like maybe around 33, I went back to the journal and was like, I have to get this stuff out of me. And I know.
So what was it? Was it like reaching a point where it's like?
I felt like I wasn't doing what I said that I was going to do in life. We put a lot of goals and a lot of aspects on ourselves, but we don't ever follow through. And I'm the type of person that wants to follow through on everything that I say that I'm going to do. I think a lot of times we put things out there and we just don't follow through. And sometimes people don't respect you when you don't follow through. So you have to keep your word. That's one thing that I thought was important, and I just said I had to do it for myself, or I was going to be upset. I found myself being upset with myself,
and not realizing
like this is, I have to do it.
It's more.
It's more to life than just waking up, going to a salon, working for somebody else, paying somebody else rent, when you could actually be doing it yourself.
So during that process, was there fear?
Oh yes.
And how did you push past that?
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure, I mean, still being fresh in this, and again, sounds like you worked hard until this point. But how do you continue? 1, getting through the fear, and 2, pushing every day through that fear.
Every day I would focus on, I gotta do it. I have to do it. This is what I'm destined to do. I love doing hair. I love making people feel beautiful. I just love people just even sitting in the seat sharing their stories, or just when they come in, they look wore out, but when they leave,
it's true.
it's a totally different feeling. It's a totally different, attitude that a woman has when they leave the beauty salon. Or just leave your presence
looking one way, not looking bomb.
So that was one of the things that I just forced myself. I continue to say, I gotta get it out. I have to do it. This is something that I need to do. And then with my mom going through what she was going through, I seen the fight that she had. Just to stay around for her family and for her children. It was like, you know what, I'm gonna have that same fight. So her determination gave me determination to follow my dream. And I had no money. I had no savings, no one. I actually had an investor that pulled out the week before we opened the doors. And I only opened the doors with $250.
Wow.
And that was it. And everybody else, I went to every building in the city of Milwaukee, and they told me no. And I was waiting for that one yes. And this is the location where the guy said yes within 5 minutes. So $250 in my banking account, and rent insecurity, he said, don't worry about it. I'll give you a month to work, and then you can pay me rent insecurity. And I've been here ever since.
Wow. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You would turn around and think that you opened up with thousands of dollars. Like this establishment is, $250.81 in my bank account. Wow. That is amazing.
That's how I started.
Wow.
So
that's inspiration to me. $251. And you can make this happen. I need to have a sit down afterwards. How do we flip that? That is amazing. So as we wrap it up, I always like to ask, for other women that's watching this, if you could choose 3 things, 3 top tips on just persevering. Like you said, people backed up. You still walk through with $251. Your mother doing things. If you can give 3 top tips of just to motivate, or to say, if you do these 3 things, you would be okay, what would that be?
First, the number 1 is integrity. Is very important. Keeping your word to yourself. and following through. Integrity is important.
Okay.
That will be number one. Number two would be fearless.
Oh,
Walk on water.
I like
Be
that.
fearless. Walk on water like
I like
Peter
that.
did. Like, just walk out.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, just walk on water. That's one of the things that for 2016 for me was walking on water.
Wow.
And just being fearless in everything that you do. So be fearless.
That is amazing.
Yep. And number three.
So integrity,
Yep.
be fearless, which
Yeah.
I love.
Mm-hmm. And number three is never stop learning and always listen.
Wow. Wow, that's like snaps. Like,
Yep. Never stop
seriously.
learning and always listen.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's somebody else that, you know, definitely have your ears open because you can learn a lot just by listening. So.
And we end every interview with the thought of, when you think about Become Her, because again, it's entrepreneurship, it's about sharing your story to help her story. It's all about women empowerment.
Yeah.
What does becoming her means to you? That her, who is that her to you?
That her is following her inner voice, following her voice, and allowing her to be her. A lot of times we try to be her for everybody else.
I mean, like, this is like snap, snap all the way through.
Yeah.
You're like touching my heart over here.
So, yeah, following her and not allowing her to be her for somebody else.
Be fearless, following her, being her, integrity, never stop learning, walk on water. I mean, so many golden nuggets, I don't even know where to stop, but
And always be open to listen.
wow, amazing.
Yep.
Thank you for this opportunity.